These coordinate planes show a direct mathematical comparison. People routinely use the word exponential as a generic synonym for anything that increases rapidly. But speed alone does not define an exponential system. On the left is a polynomial function, x cubed. On the right, an exponential function, e to the power of x. A polynomial function grows at an ever-increasing rate, and it starts out fast. But as the timeline extends along the x-axis, the exponential curve eventually overtakes the polynomial and completely dwarfs it. Human cognition struggles to interpret this kind of geometry. Our hardwired default is to observe recent, local data and draw a straight, linear tangent line into the future. This error in perception is known as exponential growth bias. This bias causes catastrophic forecasting errors during the early stages of an exponential J-curve. The initial growth phase appears deceptively flat. Extrapolating the future based on that early, localized appearance mathematically guarantees massive underestimates of the final scale. We see the physical reality of geometric compounding in a nuclear chain reaction. A single uranium nucleus undergoes fission and produces multiple neutrons. Those neutrons are absorbed by adjacent atoms, which then split, continuously multiplying the output generation by generation. In an unconstrained reaction, the vast majority of the energy is not released gradually. The first 53 generations of the chain reaction act as a relatively quiet latency period. 99% of the total energy is then unleashed abruptly in just the final 3 to 4 generations. Relying on linear intuition to assess a dynamic system guarantees predictive failure. To accurately gauge a system's trajectory, we must abandon human intuition and rely on calculus. By definition, exponential growth occurs when a system's instantaneous rate of change is directly proportional to its current quantity. It grows at a rate dictated entirely by its present size. This animated diagram displays the fundamental differential equation governing this behavior. dx over dt equals k times x. The instantaneous rate of change, the derivative on the left, is strictly proportional to the current quantity, x, on the right. The growth rate here is not a fixed daily addition, it is a moving target. As the value of x scales up, the rate at which x changes increases by the exact same proportion. The parameter k is the continuous growth constant. It represents the inherent frequency of growth for the specific system, operating as the mathematical engine of the proportionality. In the physical world, we measure this frequency using doubling time, represented by capital T. This is the real-world interval required for the current quantity to rapidly multiply by a factor of 2. The underlying invisible growth constant and the observable doubling time share a rigid algebraic relationship. The constant k equals the natural logarithm of 2 divided by the doubling time t. When evaluating a threat, absolute speed is irrelevant. Calculating the exact ratio between the current quantity and its rate of change is the reliable way to quantify a system's potential before it accelerates. Moving from pure theory to biological reality, an infectious pathogen introduced to a population with no immunity operates on these exact mechanics. We can track this geometric proportionality by examining the United Kingdom in early 2020, just before physical distancing measures were enacted to constrain the virus. This table shows the confirmed hospital cases of COVID-19 in the UK during late February 2020. We will isolate 3 specific dates, February 23rd, 26th, and 29th. On the 23rd, there were 10 cumulative cases. Just 3 days later, on the 26th, that number jumped to 18 cases. Over the next 3-day interval, ending on the 29th, the total escalated to 42 cases. Extracting these data points yields a definitive pattern. Going from 10 to 18 and 18 to 42 reveals that the empirical doubling time held steady at roughly 2.7 to 3 days. The virus was not adding a fixed sum of new cases per day. The number of new cases increased precisely alongside the number of existing cases, compounding on the existing pool. The raw epidemiological data perfectly mirrors the theoretical dx over dt equals k times x equation. In their early stages, outbreaks operate strictly on geometric proportionality. But visual representation of this data sets a cytological trap. J-curves look deceptively flat and unthreatening on standard axes, actively fueling exponential bias. This line graph maps the UK cumulative case data against a standard linear y-axis. The data points form a long, seemingly flat tail that only spikes upward at the very end. To diagnose the growth accurately, we must change the y-axis to a logarithmic scale, where each vertical unit represents a multiplicative factor, like powers of 10, rather than an additive increment. Executing this transformation alters the geometry of the data. The deceptive curvature of the J-line snaps into a rigid ascending straight line across the log-scaled plane. This yields a core rule of data analysis. If empirical data forms a straight line on a log-linear plot, the underlying system is definitively exponential. The algebraic proof for this visual shift begins by taking the logarithm of both sides of the standard exponential growth equation. That transformation yields a linear equation, where the logarithm of x grows linearly over time t. The output perfectly matches the standard y equals mx plus b format of a straight line. The log linear plot serves as the essential diagnostic tool for verifying an outbreak's underlying mechanics and forecasting its short-term trajectory. Pure mathematics can scale to infinity, but physical systems cannot. The laws of biology and thermodynamics strictly prohibit unbounded exponential growth. In a closed system, an exponentially dividing organism will inevitably exhaust its essential nutrients and run out of physical space. Ecologists define this hard supremum as carrying capacity, represented by the variable k. It is the absolute maximum population that a given environment can sustain. This animated diagram shows the Verhulst logistic equation, which amends the original exponential model to account for this environmental reality. The base equation adds a bottleneck term, becoming dp over dt equals rp times 1 minus p over k. Breaking down the parameters, p represents the current population, rp is the unimpeded growth engine, and the new term, 1 minus p over k, acts as the environmental friction. When the system is in its infancy, the population p is a very small value relative to the carrying capacity k. As a result, the bottleneck term equates to roughly 1, leaving the growth engine largely unimpeded. But as the population expands to fill the available space, p nears k. The bottleneck term approaches 0. That 0 multiplies against the growth engine, mechanically crushing the rate of change. Carrying capacity acts as an inescapable gravitational pull. It mathematically forces the exponential runaway into a state of stable equilibrium. This graph plots the full integration of the Verhulst equation. The J-curve transitions into a fully realized logistic curve, capped by the carrying capacity line. In the initial phase, the derivative is positive and actively growing, accurately mimicking pure exponential behavior. But as the curve climbs, it reaches an exact midpoint where the maximum rate of change occurs. This critical transition is the inflection point. It is the exact moment where acceleration flips into deceleration. Past the inflection point, the system enters an asymptotic approach phase. The gap between the population and the carrying capacity decays exponentially toward 0. The S-curve is the mathematical fingerprint of a complete dynamic life cycle, successfully mapping a system from explosive genesis through to saturated maturity. This model highlights the central crisis in real-time predictive forecasting. When a system is still in the early exponential phase, pinpointing the eventual inflection point is extremely difficult. Attempting to estimate the final carrying capacity using only pre-inflection data carries massive statistical uncertainty. This is why early modeling projections are frequently off by orders of magnitude. However, this logistic architecture is completely substrate independent. It is not limited to virology or epidemiology. In biology, the proliferation of tumors follows this exact progression. In economics, the diffusion of technological innovations through a market traces an identical S-curve. In computer science, the logistic function serves as the sigmoid activation function in artificial neural networks, used to clamp unbounded signals to a specific interval. By internalizing the rigorous mechanics of proportional growth and environmental limits, analysts can strip away their hardwired cognitive biases, replacing linear panic with mathematical predictability.